So here we are. We've got a diesel air car parking heater arrived from Hcalory. Supposed to be the top notch these days, the leading one, so to speak. So we've got a knife out, and this is brand new, never been seen yet. So I'm just going to gently cut through the sellotape holding everything together, and hopefully it'll all be there, and hopefully it will work, which would be nice. So we'll open that up. First things I see are fuel cap on top there. It's all encased in polystyrene, and we've got user manual. Air heater, as they're called, not a diesel heater. In effect, that's right. It's an air heater. So looking at the book here, mine is a type 4. However, I also have, looking at this, I think is a type 2. Could be the type 1. I've got another one down the other end of the garage here, which I've been using for in my tent heating, and now it's in regular use in the garage here, so hence the reason I bought another one. That's what the plan is to use this one now, this new one, for my camping, and just for camping. Maybe the occasional use in the garage or shed or somewhere, but we'll see. Anyhow, we've got the book, and this is the type 4 that I've got, so I won't bother reading any of the instructions yet until I actually come to need to do the remote control operation, as it says here. I never managed to get the other one working, mainly because I just assumed it would just work out of the box, but I never bothered with it, because where I had it in my tent, I can just reach down and switch it on and off, which I much preferred. At least doing it that way, you can actually see what's happening, and not with a remote. And like if you're like outside the tent's all closed up and you press the button, has it switched on properly or not? Don't know. So I much prefer looking at the screen and thinking, yeah, it's working. So, welcome to Fluffle Valve Express channel. Today we are having a quick look at this, the Hcalory XMZ D1. There is a D2 version, not sure what it actually looks like, but anyway, this thing was all packed away in this box. And in that box you get this, and underneath it you get a box of bits which include your air intake for the diesel burner itself. That's like a filter in there, little gauze, probably just keep the noise down and any big bits of fluff that wants to fly in there. Could actually, some people put a bit of foam inside them, you know, to filter the air a lot easier, but as you're going to burn that piece of air, I can't see that it makes a lot of difference. You know, a bit of dust ain't going to work. Of course, you've got the obligatory exhaust silencer and the exhaust itself. That fits in underneath. And also with this one, you have these feet. They don't actually lift it up or anything, but what happens with Well, that bit is for on the end of that filter, goes on there, and that plumbs in underneath as well. Of which, actually, I'm not 100% sure which one is the inlet, which one is the exhaust, but anyway, we'll put that on its side. Feet first, that goes on there like that, slides on there. You've got 4 of them, and then you can screw it down onto a board. I shall certainly screw it down on a board, because once you fit this thing, it's got to be that one. I was curious as to which is inlet and which is not, but there is no way that is going to fit on there, so that's got to be the outlet, and that's got to be the inlet, sorry, and that's the outlet, because that goes on there nice and easy, and that is the inlet which goes on there nice and easily. So you can't really get that wrong, to be honest. So that, yeah, no matter how much I try with that, God, that's all kinked up. That's actually quite nice and round, that end, but bend that a bit, yeah, just have another go. No, that's definitely never going to go on there. So that is going to be your exhaust outlet, which is nearest to your the air coming out, you know, the hot air coming out, and your little module there, your controller. So this thing here needs a real good tight bend on it. You know what I mean? You really got to give that real good, nice, sharp bend, tight bend. I would get a bit of pipe in here, something that fits nice and snug. What have I got over here? A little bit out of camera shot at the minute. No, I have got some bits of pipe over there, or even a bit of wood, you know what I mean, in there to fit nice and snug, because when you do try and bend that really tight bend, you know, as close up to the outlet that you want, this starts to kink, which isn't good, you know what I mean? Just causes problems. It bends easier further down, but then you're left with a longer curve which has the potential of burning whatever you put it on. So plan is bung something in there and give it a good tight bend. So you want that bending right here, which is literally just 1 or 2 coils down from the smooth surface. So anyway, that's just a little tip for you there. We'll put that out of the way. So the feet go on there, exhaust out, air in. This of course bends nice and easy. Not sure where you want to put that. I'd probably follow it the same route and put it outside as with the exhaust, you know, follow it outside. That way then you get nice cold air coming in from wherever it is outside, and obviously your hot gases disappear outside as well, so they're not in the same room that you're in, or your tent, or your car, or your van, or whatever. Anyhow, you get some instructions as well, probably shows you on the bottom of that, to be honest, on where you know, which is your inlet and which is outlet. So yeah, look, you can sit and read it. Nobody seems to read these things though, do they? They just get on with it and play with it. But one thing I am going to do with this before I attempt to fill it up and switch it on is I'm going to take it apart, not completely dismantle it, but I'm going to undo these 5 screws here, 5 screws that side, take the cap off, 2 in there for the handle. Not sure whether that's actually fixed to that or screwed right through, but We'll find out. We'll undo these first, these 10, and because all I want to check is that the fuel line is sitting right, no leaks, you know what I mean, to make sure everything's actually put together in there, because they are made in China, and it was probably some little kid really that's put this together, so you never know, do you? They might be having an off day and thinking, nah, I won't bother connecting that bit of fuel line, I'll just leave it dangling, so when they fill this up it pisses out all over the floor. So we're going to have a look inside before we actually switch anything on. So here we are again. When I got said screwdriver and took all the screws out. You need to take these two top ones out as well because it's all interlinked, and then thought that was going to, oh there we go, there we are. I thought that would just pop straight off, but it don't. Right, can't see a lot, let's put this out of the way. So wires going in that end, the tank, don't want to pull it about too much because of the, okay, let me see if I can turn this around and put a little bit of light on it so that you can all see it. Cool, that feels all, now I see. The bottom, they're only screwed in with, is that one screw? Yeah, one screw in the bottom there and one screw there. God, Jesus. So yeah, I mean it slides into little plastic bracket sort of thing, but there's just one screw stopping everything pulling apart, one screw either end. Anyway, let's keep that pushed in then, and then hopefully I can tilt it up to the camera and show you. So I can't pull that off very far, but you can see here, and that does feel quite firm, it's not loose, so I can see a little black rubber seal in there. I think that's probably on tight enough. The green hose is pushed over the end. I might just give that an extra little push on. Yeah. I just feel a bit more confident with that there. But anyway, it's about as far as I can get the fuel tank away from it because the hose is only very short. It's on plenty on the fuel pump itself. This wiring just seems to be just dangling in the wind. Yeah. So let's see. So we've got wiring from the back here, runs around underneath the air intake, plugs in there into the module, and you've got your live feed going in that as well, and of course your feed going down to the pump. I think that's your bog standard noisy pump. We will find out when it turns on. I think what I might do, let's put a couple of bits of tape over that just to keep that up and out of the way. I mean, it sits between the fuel and that, but I just don't like it because it's just, you know, look at it, it's all over the place, isn't it? Where am I? I'm looking for, what have I done with my tape? Thought I had some tape here. I will get it. But yeah, basically, I don't know why this has got a cutout in it, the tank, because that, I mean, you're losing a little bit of extra fuel there, aren't you? If it was, you know, just square all round like the rest of it is. Obviously, they use this tank for a different model and something else goes in there. So, I see my tape now. So over here we'll use a bit of a bright yellow tape. And we'll have a knife. Just not that keen on that wire just dangling in the wind there. Let me have a look, see how much space we've actually got. Loads. Yeah, in fact it does squash itself in between the fuel tank and the heater itself, so I'm going to pull that around there, move that out of the way, and just take this up so that the plug actually stays further back there. Can't do anything with them, but this tape might just work its way off eventually. But this is me just being a bit finicky, you know what I mean? I don't want it dangling in the wind. It's got a nice curved edge on that top of that heater there. There's a beveled edge over there, so we will could do with a sharper knife, really. It's a new blade in it. Then we'll put one that end, and that will also lift that plug out the way. So tuck that around the corner there. Curve it around all edges. Should I put one in the middle? Might as well while it's open. Okay, I'll start that and that. Now the wires actually sit. They don't now. That's a bit of sharp edge there. So just as a safety concern, let me get a better knife. I need to change the blade in that. There we go, this one's a lot better. So I just want to trim them. Just want to keep them wires off of that sharp edge going along there. That's quite a sharp edge, it needs a file on it. So we'll put that on there. I'll put another bit over the top of that. Crikey, what is it with these knives? There we go. Right, that'll stop that flapping around in the wind. The last thing you want is the wire for your fuel pump burring through Probably won't stay on there forever, but at some point I will have a look at it, you know what I mean, just double check it. So we're happy with that, we're happy with the fuel thing. The fuel pump is actually kinked up, not much of an angle. I thought they were supposed to be, it's rubber mounted though, but I thought they were supposed to be up at like well, on a slope sort of thing like that, but we'll leave that, we'll see how it goes. Also, one thing to remember is that once this is full up, that will be gravity fed anyway through the bottom there into the fuel, so it shouldn't take a lot of priming, to be honest. Right, it's bugger all to look at this other side, apart from the wire, which is encased anyway. That needs to be a bit looser. Yeah, oh, see, you've got two holes here. That's going to be so you can get your screwdriver in and get it onto like your inlet and your outlet on your heater itself, on the burny bit, because on the case I noticed there was two slots, so, or a slot, there you go, that will line up with them, so you can get a screwdriver through there. Because I was looking at that under there and I thought that looks a bit bloody awkward actually, to, you know, to get a Jubilee clip on it, but makes sense now, because you can see the two pipes straight through that hole, so cap can go on. And then what we'll do, we'll put all these screws back in. Yeah, everything's looking pretty good. Happy with that. Yeah, I'm going to have to read the manual to work out how this remote control works. I never got the one working on my other one. In fact, I don't even think I put the batteries in it. Not sure whether this has got batteries in or not, or what, I don't know. But I never did bother with the other one, because where it sat in my tent, I could literally just reach down on the floor and do all these buttons, you know what I mean? It's just, why you want this, I don't know. I mean, if you're walking around outside your tent and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to go to bed in about half an hour, I'll just switch this on. Now, how do you know that it's worked? It's like locking and unlocking your car door. People tend to have a look, make sure the little pins went down on your door, you know, when you lock your door, or the catch flicks over to make sure it's locked. Nobody trusts these remote controls. They've only got to not work once and you get your car nicked. Same with this thing, it's only got to not work and it won't heat your tent up. So that's the plan anyway. There you go. Right, so we're back with this. I've put all the sides back on, screws are all gone in, and I'm now working out what to do about the exhaust. Now I've got a nice tight bend on that, and when it sits on its feet, let me just show you, let me take that off. So when it's sat on the feet, under there, I mean, that will come up, you still have a gap, you know, between, you can see there on my bench, But of course you need to hold this up. So there is a little bracket in there to put, I don't know, somewhere. But having said that, it's a little bit annoying that the exhaust has got to come out the side here. Also, the pipe I just pulled off, like the inlet. Now, I have run these without this pipe on and without the little air filter, this thing. I don't think that really quietens anything down. It does a little bit, you know, but you get an induction noise anyway. But that goes under there as well, and ideally then, to keep it away from the exhaust, it's got to run the other side, out the other side, or out this side, and then having both this exhaust pointing upwards and this under there pointing upwards. Now you ain't got enough room under the back, you know what I mean, to put it under there. It will only come out the sides, unless of course you mount this up on blocks of wood. You know, put these feet up on, well, they're not feet, they're stabilizer brackets really, to bolt it down on a bit of ply or something. So really what I really wanted was for this exhaust pipe to come out this end here. I'll call it the back end, because on the other end is where all your heat comes out here, and your control box thing there is there. So when it's in my tent, what I don't want is to have to alter the way I have the exhaust coming out. See, I'll show you on my old one. You see all these pipes coming out here? They're all from this heater here. So this is my old one. Now this runs great guns, it does. It's just been keeping going and going and going. I've never took it apart, never done anything with it. I just keep putting fuel in it, switching it on, and away it goes. But you see, there's no exhaust poking around outside here. I put that on blocks because of the exhaust underneath. Now when it's in my tent, I do put a piece of wood under there, you know, so that the exhaust actually sits on the wood and not on the carpet in the tent, because I melted through the plastic floor one time and burnt a bit of carpet. But you can see out this end there's enough height, you know, for the air intake, and that's my exhaust. So it pops out the other side, and then it's actually screwed down real tight with a little clamp there on that block of wood that it's sitting on, and then it goes out my door, out into the, you know, all the nasty gases go outside, and all the good heat stays inside. So ideally what I want is for the exhaust to actually come out the back end of the other one, the same as the air intake. So what I'm thinking of doing is drilling some holes for it, but just want to show you this actually. It's just the top of a can, and with the lid off of that, if I take the lid off, I'll show you. Let me show you quick. So with that off, this top bit, little 5 litre can, it just sits on there as a funnel. It's just easier for me to pour it in because I've got a shelf here which sits under the shelf. You know, trying to pour a can straight into that is a little bit awkward. I mean, I could get another funnel or something, you know, longer funnel, but this, I thought I had this idea with that. And when you literally pour that in there, the weight of the fluid in it keeps it steady, and it just sits on the handle and pours down the hole there. Of course, you've still got to watch on the side here, watch it fill up, and of course that you don't overfill it in there. But ideal piece of kit that. I only use it when I'm here in the garage, like, so I don't spill everything. Anyway, back to the air inlet and the exhaust coming out. So on the other one, which is down here on the bench, what I'm thinking of doing is drilling a hole here and drilling another hole there, so we can have both of these pipes coming out and up. No idea what that hole is there for. Probably for wiring again, like that. But this is where the air goes in, see? You know, for blowing out, and it all blows out the other end there. So the back bend with the air intake and the exhaust is where I want it sort of backing up to the tent, so that I've got nothing lying in the way, you know, when you're walking around. Because having an exhaust pipe coming out the side here like that is, well, it's a load of bollocks, really. You know, even if it was laying down, it's not ideal for me, that. But just for test purposes, I'm going to leave it dangling in the wind, just like that. I probably won't even bother putting this pipe on, just for test purposes. I'll leave the air filter off, the air intake filter off, and I will go and get a battery and get some wiring out and sit it in the garage with the door open, obviously, and put some diesel in it, and we will fire it up and just hope to God it works. Yeah. Okay. I've just got it sitting on the back end of my Land Rover for now. I've been stripping this down, so it's looking a bit bare. Got no cab on it, and I think. Anyhow, just temporarily, I've not bothered with the inlet, going in inlet. It's just an open pipe at the bottom underneath. The exhaust I've left just dangling up there in the wind, because I'm still not sure on what to do with it. I've got it wedged up off of my bit of ply with my screwdriver there. There is no duplicate clip holding anything on, but as you can see, I've had this plugged in for 1 minute. This is on a big battery, 110 amp hour. I use this particular battery, Numax one. This is the one that I have been using for a few years now. It's still good, and I've been using it with that heater for a good few years now, so I know the battery's good, etc. Now all I've done is pour some fuel in it, which is actually kerosene and not diesel, because I run that one on kerosene and diesel, sometimes mixed. I'm yet to mix some veg oil in it. I might do that later at a later date, see how it runs, but for now I just want a clean burn. I know the kerosene works just as well as the diesel, if not better, so we're going to just switch it on and see what happens. Right, the fan's on. Not sure that the pump's doing anything. Can't hear it. Maybe it's going to need a bit of priming, which I think is that one. Need two ends, and that one. Got fan blowing there, no pump working. Ah, hang on. Pump has just switched itself on. Whether that was me pushing them two buttons or not, I don't know. But anyway, that has decided to come on. I'm going to wind it right up. So that only goes to 5.4. Now that's supposed to be an 8 kilowatt. My other one goes to 5.5, but either way, it's rare that I have it at that sort of temperature. I sometimes run them flat out, you know, full heat, just to get some good heat in them, get the tent warmed up, and then I normally drop it right down to 1.6 through the night. I leave it on, or generally sometimes, you know, through the day if it's cold and everything, I just leave it on 2. That's certainly pumping away now, and the heat from that, it's not cold, it's getting warmer. Seems to be surging, but that might be because it's still sucking fuel through. Now it's picking up. Pump's ticking away a lot quicker. And that is getting warmer. Yeah, the pump's ticking away like a good one. I think the green, yellow, I think that's the temperature it's actually reaching. I'm not sure. I need to read it up on the you know, in the book really. Maybe I should just take the book in with me while I'm watching telly and just have a read of it tonight. Go through it, because I never read one with the other heater. I literally just put fuel in it, switched it on and hope for the best. Pretty much the same as this. But hearing horror stories of like filling it up and it just pees out the open pipe, you know what I mean, I decided against that and thinking, no, I need to just check it, you know, which I did. So that's gone up to red now. It looks orange on the screen, but you know, to me looking at the screen, but believe me, it is actually red. Oh, what do you know? No real priming. That is getting very hot there now. So hot you can't keep your hand there. That's, I need to be back here a bit with my hand. That's plenty hot. Oh yes. Wow, that is from here. I mean, my hand's a good foot away, and that's getting a little bit too hot. Let's go back a bit more. Well, I'm actually proper happy with that. Not only that, which I've just noticed, is the exhaust pipe. Can you see any soot or any unburnt fuel or anything like that coming out of there? Nothing. That's as clean, as clear as can be. That's brilliant. That's good. Good. Where's my temperature gun? Let me go and grab that. Just want to do some temperature check-ins. I check my chip fat with this thing as well. Make sure the chip fat's hot enough, you know, when I put my chips in. Anyhow, switch that on. And we'll bang it straight in there, and that is already at 307 degrees Fahrenheit. That's nearly ready for my chips. Oh, it's cold. That's right on that middle. Mind you, that reflects its alley. So that's going up. Let me do it on the plastic bit on the side. That was cooler there. The wood. Yeah, it's 300 degrees, look. Well over. Now we're good with that. Good. Exhaust. That's 94. They say you shouldn't poke these things on shiny surfaces because they reflect the heat, you know, what you're trying to measure. Really what I need is a bit of black tape on that. But this is right on my face at the minute. Not very nice, but I'm right down the exhaust there. And that's 160. 170, oh, it's flicking around, yeah. But all the same, whatever temperature that is, I mean, it's only been running 10 minutes, no less than that, because it was about 4 minutes or so before I switched it on. So 6 minutes, give it 5 minutes and it's cooking. Put that about there. Yeah, and that's all pumping away, just absolutely lovely jubbly. And that, putting my hand there, it's just too hot. Too hot. Well, Hcalory. I'm proper happy. It's just nice when you can plug something in and it works. So I'm just going to turn it right down now. If that was on 5.4, its highest setting, let's see what its lowest setting will be. The other one I've got is a 1.6, but that, now you can change these. I don't know how, but that's down to 1.7. My other one went up to 5.5 and down to 1.6. Now 1.7 I'll be quite happy with in the tent, ticking over of a night time. And as you can hear, that's immediately turned itself down. That's still bloody hot coming out of there. And that gentle tick. I might get myself a quieter fuel pump because I do run this inside the tent. Or there's plenty of room in there, as you saw earlier, to wrap it up with some cloth, sponge, I don't know, bit of soundproofing material or whatever. But anyway, that's ticking over nicely. I'll have a read of the book tonight because that won't go down no lower than that. 1.7. That's at 18 degrees. See, that's just nice inside a tent of a night time. 18 degrees. Got 12.9 volt now. No error codes. And we've been running for 13 minutes. And we're good. Happy with that. Happy little chappy now I am. We'll switch it off. shut down. And the fan will just run now until that cools down and then shuts itself off. God, that's hot. Keep holding my hand in front of it. It just gets too hot. Now we're good with that. That's going to shut itself off. I'm happy. So, if you like my videos, subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up, like. That'll be good. Boost my subscribers up. And then maybe, I mean, I don't endorse these heaters one little bit. You know what I mean? I'm not getting any money from this or anything. I'm just happy that I've managed to buy one quite cheap. I mean, this one cost me 90 quid. Now some of them now, they're down to like 70 quid, but not in a casing like this. You just get them loose with all the bits to fit them in your van or your car. And if for 70 quid you can't go wrong. I mean, for that sort of money, if it breaks, you just throw it away, buy a new one. The note in that fan has changed now. That's a lot cooler there. It's still hot, but a lot cooler. So that's good. It's shutting down on its own okay. Okay, yeah. Like I said, if you like what you see, then subscribe and give me a thumbs up and a like. I shall catch you on the next chapter.